Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the first official PHG Podcast. I'm your host, Giants, here with my compadre, Chris. How you doing today,
What's
Chris?
up, everybody? Yeah, I'm doing. Hey, I guess this is what the pilot.
I guess so.
All
So,
right. Well, I guess it's better late than never, huh?
I guess so. Tell us a little bit about yourself first there, Chris.
So I guess we'll get into that. So my name is Chris, obviously, um, and I'm 35, soon to be 35. I guess I should say. God, I'm dating myself on that age. Uh, anyway, I'm from the great state of Texas. Father of three. Been a law enforcement officer on my professional career now 12 years. Um, I work in a small to mid-sized town, but I've done a lot of things in my career. And then, man, I love gaming, and I guess that's where this comes in, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, my name is Giants. I am 25, so a little bit younger than Chris. I am currently planning on going into law enforcement, but for the meantime, the simple way to put it, I play with cars for a living right now. So,
Play with something. I don't know if it's cars, but we'll go with that.
yeah, we'll get into that. um, right now, though, uh, single, so on the market. Anybody? No kids, no nothing. And
Ladies, pick him up.
yeah, right.
He's a stud.
The Italian stallion for a reason, eh?
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
And
So,
the way me and him met, we both are a member of PHG Purple Heart Gaming.
so,
And
John, since you said that, what is PHG? How do we explain that?
well, PHG Purple Heart Gaming, we are a role playing community for Grand Theft Auto 5 RP, 5M. We've kind of over the years gone from just that into a more major kind of gaming community. So we play really anything, and we'll get into more detail about that later. But we play Jackbox, American Truck Sim. What are some other games we play, Chris?
Let's see. We've got farming simulator, a variation. I think we have a server or have had a server of that. I'm not sure the activity level on that, but let's see. I know that's one of the ones. I've seen Minecraft thrown around a couple, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we played Minecraft. We've played Rocket League.
Rocket League, yeah,
I,
yeah,
I,
yeah, that,
I seem to be the only one that's in Overwatch right now, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
uh,
there's that.
we'll basically play anything. So I mean, it's
I mean, as a group, as a whole, yeah. I mean, our base is around Grand Theft Auto. That's where we started. That's kind of the centerpiece, as you'll say.
well, I just love how we can literally go into basically anything. We were playing some of the Discord activities. Like I've been playing some.
Oh God, yes,
I've been
yes, we were.
I've been playing Corbinian and chess. I've been playing Slate and chess and Couch. A whole bunch of other people.
Yeah, and
Um,
we had the whole group together for those one games in there that we did.
it was like that telephone game one. I'll
Yeah,
look.
that got really interesting.
Yeah. What is it called? I'm looking for it right now. Um, oh, Gartic Phone. That's what it's called in
That's
there.
right. Right,
Appar-
yeah, it's something with Discord now. Yeah.
Apparently, it's got its own website too, so you can play it off of Discord. So, but we've gotten into, we've done some things that would probably get us in trouble on those apps.
What hasn't gotten us in trouble at times? Jeez. So I guess I need to kind of go into this. Our group is pretty unique. I mean, and I will tell you, it's not kid friendly. There's some off the wall stuff that just comes up.
Well, I mean, we have guys that are active law enforcement, former Army, Marines, whatever. Um,
Well, yeah, I guess we need to cover that base. If you're talking about PHG, you got Purple Heart Gaming. Obviously, there's a military tie there.
yeah, and that comes from our mutual friend who's also in the server. His name's Corbinian,
Mhm.
and he earned a Purple Heart. Do you remember what year that was?
I can't remember what year off the top of my head. I want to say somewhere around '07, '08, '09, somewhere that rings a bell into the crystal ball of things, but I don't know.
knows?
He said probably, but I've slept since then.
Yeah, you and me both. But there's just a big age range. Like I think some of our younger members are 18, 19.
Yeah, yeah,
I think the oldest one we have in here right now is 36, 37.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just a little older than me.
So I mean, and just to make this clear, this isn't going to be a full podcast of just us advertising the server, but it does make sense for everyone to know how we kind of got together and everything right now because we've been part of this server for what are we coming up on 5 years?
5
20
years.
yeah,
Yeah.
20
I,
2019
oh,
was when
crap.
the server yeah. Wherever the last 5 years gone, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It flew by. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, so I guess kind of one of the things I guess that we need to address. How did we get started?
Well, you started it with I joined in November of 2019. So I actually wasn't here for the original official launch of
That's
PHG.
right. You weren't. It feels like you were, but you weren't.
Yeah.
So, uh, you know, if people know about 5M, if they don't, 5M has been around for quite some time, and there's been mass amounts of service. You check YouTube, and there's 5M everywhere when you type that in. So, I guess kind of the realm is that I started watching YouTube with like everybody else, seeing these servers pop up. So I joined a couple, and I won't go into names, but for the most part, they were garbage. I'll just frankly say it. They were garbage. You had, 12-year-olds being the police, trying to freaking, be the police chief bossing around a 37-year-old person. It just didn't fly with me. And then you'd have drama after drama and this whole nonsense going on. So I got together with Corbinian and a couple more guys that are no longer part of our community. And so we got together, threw the eye together, threw the name together, and the elements just started right there. And I guess that's where kind of the whole thing started at. We got a hosting site which was very basic. None of us had any clue what really it took to run one. And so yeah, we took off from there. Some people fell off the bandwagon for various reasons, but nevertheless, we started trucking along and we started picking up people. Um,
Was that
like
a few months later I popped up because you guys
that's what I say.
started
You
in
were one of
let's say you guys
started in January,
yeah, you started in
January of 19.
January? I thought it was like July.
No, like January of 19.
January
Uh,
19.
yeah. So, at the original tail end things, there was me, Corbinian, Aries, those people there just kind of give the guideline of things, and we were really running on shoestrings of knowledge. Some of us had a lot of computer knowledge, had no idea what it took to run a server, and if you don't know what it takes to run a server, it's a lot, and you've got to really have a good team to do that.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing with that. So a little bit of my background. I actually started doing RP before GTA 5, GTA 4.
Wow.
I don't remember if I'll say the name for the sake of it was a popular community. The first server I was a part of was the RCMP with what's his name? Mount. It was Mounties Gaming. I don't remember everything about it, but that was my first server back in GTA 4. I want to say it was like 2014, 2013.
Yeah, it'd been about right timing for that. Yeah.
Um, Beyond that, I had that was really the only server I'd played on in GTA 4 until we everything switched over to 5M because 2015 is when it released for PC.
Right.
Um,
Are we really 10 years in? Oh, well, no, we're not quite 10 years. We're what, 8?
we're 10 years in the Grand Theft Auto 5, but not on
Oh wow,
PC.
yeah, it is 10 years. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up going through a whole bunch of different servers. There were some that I was there for a couple months. There was one in particular I was there for over a year with a couple stints. Um, I kind of just got tired of basically the same thing that Chris was. Everything involving the drama and the bullshit with these servers. And there's a difference just not between not seeing eye to eye and just I mean, I would be in these servers where I'd have these 9-year-old kids giving me morphine for a paper cut. I mean, I don't know.
Like having a way to treat a wound.
I get it's a game and we're here to have fun, but we want some sort of realism, at least a little bit to it, and just that would always take me out of it. And then, of course, the drama and the bullshit because head honcho A couldn't get away or couldn't agree with something that dickbag B over here said, and it was just a
Yeah,
headache, man. I mean,
yeah. We ran into a lot of that. There was, in particular, I remember a server that Corbinian and I were part of right before we started, and just in particular, this particular incident where we were just driving along. Some guy was hitchhiking. We picked him up and we dropped him off like I don't know 200 feet from an active traffic stop. And the cops that were on that lost their minds on us. I never will forget that.
fail RP,
That's what
put
I
your
heard a lot
ass in
of.
the air, troll.
Pretty much, pretty much. That's what we heard.
Yeah,
So that was kind of the camel, the straw that broke the camel's back, I should say.
yeah, and I mean, I did a lot of growing up because at one point that was me probably until 2016, 2017.
Don't say no.
Yeah,
Couldn't be.
dude, I've told you this before. I've changed a lot and like honestly grew up between the last 5, 10 years, and I'd hope so that I've changed a lot.
I was kind of thinking, but whatever.
I would hope I've changed a lot since I was 15 years old. I
I
mean,
mean, I hope so. I hope we've all changed since then. So
yeah, but
So I will say this. So going into it, a lot of servers. You've got guys in here. In For those listening, if you've been a part of a server, you know this. You got your online buddies, and that's pretty much where it stays at. But I would say Purple Heart Gaming is quite unique, in my opinion,
yeah,
of the fact that we've actually made real life friends out of this.
yeah. I mean, y'all came to my wedding,
Yeah,
and
we did that.
as when I was married to my ex-wife, which I'm sure we'll have plenty of stuff to say about that down the road,
Oh Lord.
but
Yeah, I
y'all
mean,
came to my
we came to y'all's
wedding.
wedding. Yeah, yeah, we've done that.
I'll say y'all came to
Yep.
my wedding. We've had
Corbini and I were partners. I mean, we worked together for a number of years.
yeah,
Uh, we came to your wedding. I mean, it was just not me. We had another guy. We had Slate. We rented a house for crying out loud,
yeah.
and
You and me went to Vegas together. I mean,
we just went to Vegas together. That was fun.
that was a blast. Even though I don't remember like half of it, but
And at the
we'll definitely have to tell Vegas stories down the road.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a part of this for sure. So yeah, the thing about this is that we are more than just gaming. We are friends. I mean, and I mean by all the aspects of it. Giants has picked my ass up and took my ass to the hospital before. We've got Corbinian, who I was out of town 17, 19 hours and rushed back for his wedding. You know,
Dude, I literally, I Chris let me sit in his camp, sleep in his camper for like 4 months
yeah,
when my
yeah,
divorce was started and didn't know
yeah.
anything. And
We did that. We did
so,
that.
I mean, it's you don't get this kind of camaraderie. Yeah, that's the right word, I think. Camaraderie from just people that you meet online typically. And I mean,
No, no, you don't. This is kind of a unique group, and I've always said we're kind of unique in a way we do things. And I'll say this much, and I think you can testify to this too. As gaming communities go, people get out here and they see other communities doing different things that maybe we're not quite doing, or they get mad about some little thing that really didn't amount to a hill of beans. They typically, what we've seen for the most part, they'll go do their own thing for a little while and they come back.
yeah,
Just because, and I'm not trying to toot our own horn, but because we are a unique group.
it does come down to how we kind of treat each other now the way we are. I mean, I moved from where I was living out here in the Texas with you guys now because
Yeah, you did.
it was there was a few other things to it. I mean, I was married at the time and we wanted to kind of flap our wings and start our own lives, but it was basically Texas that we just kind of resonated with. And I even before I met you guys, Texas always kind of seemed like a place that I wanted to be.
It's a
But
unique
no,
place.
yeah, but knowing I had people around me to kind of support that move even a little bit, is what really made Texas kind of the number one versus, I mean, we were talking about Tennessee, North Carolina,
Right.
other stuff at the time. So, I mean,
Sure. Sure.
basically we
Right.
agreed anything that didn't have state tax.
So that's a smart move there. Because
Yeah.
good lord, that stuff's enormous when you go to places that have it. It's my word. I don't know how people do that.
I don't know either. I lived in Jersey as a kid, so, I mean, there's enough tax there to,
Float a boat, man.
yeah, you're telling me. But, I mean, there's a whole group of us that we just, you don't see it anywhere else. And as I said, I was doing RP. I ran my own server for a while. And even with the guy I ran the server with, it's like we were close, don't get me wrong, but we were obviously always just going to be gamer buddies. I mean,
Right. Right.
that
It was
dude was,
nothing like that.
yeah, no, that dude was like in his 40s, I think, late 30s, early 40s at that point. He
Oh
already had
wow, I
three
didn't realize
kids.
that. I remember the story, but I didn't realize that.
Yeah. But there was that, and then there was the story of how I actually came here.
Oh dear lord, yeah. I remember your dang freaking interview that we did with you. Oh man, do I
So
remember that?
So here's so to make it clear, and I'm gonna get into deep explanation behind this. I had a resume when I joined this server,
That's
and it's
right. Right, he did.
and it's not like I put like 12 hours or 20 minutes or anything. I put 5 minutes into this. Basically, I had been jumping honestly probably since January before or when you guys started the server, whatever. I've been jumping from server to server, just trying to find a place to play on my spare
Right,
time. And
right.
I have all these documents that I had made for other servers. So I was kind
Good
of
document.
I was
I'll
kind
give you
of
that.
just I was kind of just tired of sitting there or those docs sitting there and kind of not being useful anymore. So
So you shot yourself in the face with it, huh?
I basically decided just to put them all in one place and say, "Here you go." Typed like a little paragraph about myself, and you know what? Let's see what this does.
We were like the LinkedIn of the freaking server homes that you decided to apply to.
Oh
Yeah, I
hell,
remember you coming in. And I remember this quite frankly because I remember now that you say that, I remember the resume. And I
mm-hmm.
remember Corbinian like, hey, look at this dude. Send us a damn resume. I think his reaction, and we'll have him along, and as further along as we go into this, Corbinian will be a guest.
Yeah,
And Corbinian, he just says what he thinks. He has no filter. Like I don't have a filter at times. He has zero filter,
yeah.
and he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He will go off on a 9-year-old or a 90-year-old grandmother. He does not care.
But he's
It's
right
just
when
how he.
he's right most of the time when he goes off on
But he,
people, though. That's
but
the
he,
whole
he
thing.
is he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He is genuine. He'll give the shirt off his back, but he will let it fly when it needs to fly.
Yeah.
So and so Corbinian sends me this. And he's like his exact wording now that I sit here and remember is like, look at this prick.
I
It was
believe it.
just so funny. I'm sitting here because at this point in time we've been around, I don't know, several months.
Yeah.
And we have had a variety of those who were genuine people to the craziest loons off the internet that just freaking decided to walk themselves in the door.
Oh, of course.
So so I didn't know what to expect. So I'm like, well, let's bring this dude in. And so we brought you in, and I remember you asking a ton of questions. And I remember sitting typing DMs back and forth between Corbinian and I, thinking, yeah, this guy's not going to stick around. There's no way this guy. We can't even hardly. I don't think we're even going to get him in server to even like join us to like see how he's going to do. This dude's not going to join us at all. Like number one, he's freaking putting a Harvard resume for gaming in front of us. That's
It
unheard
wasn't
of.
a Harvard resume, all right? Take it back
It was
just a
more than
step.
I had ever seen besides that of employment. And I was just like,
It wasn't.
come on.
It's literally just a fucking Google Doc with a bunch of links, like maybe 6 or 7 of different docs that I have made that I wanted to use them for something. I wasted all this fucking time. I was going through a lot from like 18 to 20, 17
I'm
to
just
20. But
I'm just glad you didn't waste a rainforest of paper on it. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm glad it was an online document. All right.
but
Otherwise, I'd be calling police for another freaking docket of paper.
oh god damn it. But I just wanted this shit to be used, so I had this thing, and I'm
It
like,
got used.
I'm sure I made some docs for here too. That's for shit sure.
Oh yeah, no, you're a document maker. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just remember the interview with you, and then afterwards, like, well, Corbin was like, "What do you think of this guy?" I was like, "Put him in. Let's see what he's like." I mean, what do we got to lose at this point? And then it just started downhill from there
yeah,
because we got introduced to some interesting characters and some interesting characters that came along with my stuff. Like, who
I
would ever thought that your character and my character were like BFFs? And
yeah. So
yeah,
we have I play a guy named Tyrone. He's a crackhead, and he
God,
plays a guy named Rusty, who's a bit of a meth head.
yeah,
And
yeah,
obviously the
complete
crack.
opposite of our real life.
Yeah, as I've never touched a drug in my life. I mean, I'm an adult. I drink
Either.
alcohol. That's the most to my extent.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I went into law enforcement pretty early at young age.
Yeah,
You know, I grew up in a responder background life. You know, my entire family. My dad was a assistant fire chief for 25 years.
I never knew that.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So I grew up around the fire service.
Also, I only know your dad is retired, so
Yeah, yeah. Well, he is now.
yeah,
So, you know, the thing about it is like, you know, it's complete opposite, and that's what I like about the role playing part of this community is that we unleash some people that we probably aren't really like. But you and I, in particular, I'll say this, and as we get guests along, I think they'll agree with us. I think Tyrone and Rusty are like the most infamous two people in this server that everybody just loves to hate.
yeah.
You know, I think I said, you know, not too long back, what 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think we were in there, and I was like, I'm bringing Rusty out, and I think I heard somebody go, "Oh man, no,"
I
you
remember
know,
that.
and, and that's the same thing I usually say when I hear Tyrone when I'm on the opposite end, and I'm just like, crap, it's
Well,
gonna be a night.
you're just thinking in your head because you just hear me go crack, crack,
Yeah,
crack.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we hear Rusty, methamphetamines. I don't do methamphetamines. They do me.
But we've both had some quality characters that we use over the years. I mean,
All the years we've had several. You know, we had the street preacher. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. We had a twin brother. You know, he'd be out. Kid Flom.
oh,
Flom's
the
your
Kifloms, that's right.
the Kid Flom. Yeah, the Kid Flom preacher that everybody hated. You know, and then
I
and
have
that's
Mario, and Mario had Lonzo until
oh
Lonzo got killed.
the
But
Baratelli brothers. Oh my gosh,
yep.
them all.
So
Oh man,
Mario Baratelli and his brother before he disappeared, we'll say. Um,
scared my ass.
well, it's not my fault. He was a dipshit. Anyway, Mario is a very he owns a lot of businesses, and he's kind of like a mobster type deal. So
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You know, we talk about Rusty too. I was bringing him up. You know, he kind of evolved from the meth head to like this unknown business owner. We still don't know how he got his money. You know, he's
no,
running that what? He runs an airline, right? He's got a car sales business. He just freaking became city manager of Grapeseed. All for crying out loud! Like,
uh huh. In the
you know,
in the middle of an investigation where Grapeseed's police chief is currently
yeah, oh yeah, he's on the chopping block or should be.
yeah, he's getting pressed with official oppression charges as well as some other
Oh, that's
things.
right. That's right. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So I
You
mean,
know,
plenty of stories going on around here. Not just I pull the character out of my butt. He drives.
no, it's not just I made one right there in the middle of the street. My name is John Smith. No, no.
These
There's
are
a lot of backstories.
yeah. I mean, we also have Burton. As I we got
Oh,
Burton Fang.
Art,
I officially changed his last name to Fangman, by the way.
Burton. Oh gosh, Burton. I
Yeah.
forget about him sometimes. Oh man.
Yeah, Burton, and then he's got Slate's buddy Bernard, who's
Oh Bernard.
and they get pretty fucked up for a couple old geezers in wheelchairs.
Well, we can't forget about freaking Tyrone's dad and his kids either. Those
Oh
man,
yeah,
plethora, and that's the other thing that usually goes along with a lot of the characters. There's side families. There's freaking people that come out of the background you're not expecting. One minute I was dealing with Tyrone, the next thing his freaking son pops up out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the?
And his son is clean cut too. I mean,
Yeah, so is his dad.
yeah. Well, his dad's a pimp, but I mean
Well, there's that,
that
but
that's a lot better than the stuff that Tyrone puts everybody through. And then of
oh
course
my,
his
my.
son, let's say his son, I forget what branch in the military he is, but his son's in the military. Even though the poor guy, his name is Tyrese Crackington.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So
that's right. That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
Tyrese Crackington. There we
You
go.
know, well, it's, I'm not surprised.
uh,
It's just some of the things, the geniality of what comes up usually with our characters and the situations that come up are usually so unique and hilarious. I mean, the bank robbery, for an instance. Golly, the bank robbery. I think that one will live on as one of my favorites with you.
oh, Tyrone in the bank,
The
where
bank robbery
yeah,
and a former police department, which is disbanded now in the server, giving you evidence out of the vault.
yeah, Tyrone insisted the only way he was letting the hostages go was to get him some crack. So these two officers, who shall not be named, they went to the evidence locker and they got him some crack so that Tyrone
You
would
know,
let all
and,
the
and meanwhile,
individuals
me and
out.
Slater me and Slater are freaking on another building right across the street, looking at you through a sniper rifle, like, we can take him out.
Yeah,
And they're like, no, 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 we got this.
y'all had
And then
straight line of sight on me. I was waiting for the
yeah,
shot.
you were dead to right.
Yeah,
And I was just sitting there, and then they're like, never mind, we're making negotiations. We're giving him what he wants. And we're giving him the narcotics he is out of. We're going to Polito Bay Station and getting the narcotics. And I'm like, what?
oh my lord.
Place like you're kidding me.
These are the same two officers that ended up being German police, if you remember
Oh
that.
gosh, yes, they did a German police pullover, and the guy they pulled over, who's not here anymore either. I mean, but for good reason. But
Let's say the two
he
German
lost.
cops are still here. So let's just make that
Yeah, the
clear.
team German cops are still here. Yeah, and they need to do. I told them not long back they need to do another German episode because that was hilarious.
That
And,
was.
all you hear is freaking German, freaking men talked, and it just almost reminds me of the Super Troopers scene in the second one where they're speaking French. It was almost in that context. It was just they'd say something, it was totally derivative from what it really was, and it was just the comedy in itself was hilarious. And and not only just in the server, but we've had a lot of comedic moments. Uh, I guess really in real life, but
Yeah.
also Jackbox. We've had some words put into the Urban Dictionary from our
Yeah.
Jackbox
I mean,
page.
yeah. So, for those that don't know, Jackbox is a bunch of party games, basically. They've been doing that shit for a while now. But
Now they're on like what Pac 10.
yep,
Pac 10's about to come out. Yeah,
Pac 10 comes out next month, October of 23. So,
right.
um, so Jackbox has a bunch of party games. The one I'm going to talk about right now is called Dictionarium. You basically make your own words and your own definitions and things like that. Well, we put in Urban Dictionary. It's cockfrogging.
Oh God.
Cockfrogging is the act of fornicating with an acquaintance's mother and having him watch so that you can make pointers to him. uh,
you know, we know it's sad how this came about. I mean, it was out of nowhere. And what's bad is this particular person got so butthurt about it.
yeah,
Oh man, he get butthurt about it. It was just funny trying to explain to him like, hey,
but
you
here's the thing though. We do it in good fun, and we obviously take shots at each other because honestly,
all the time.
that's the best kind of friendship to have is when you guys are just shitting on each other the whole time.
And
But
Dasher probably was making a roast of you. I mean, for crying out loud.
y'all did a roast at my freaking bachelor party.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I mean,
You can thank your mother for that one, by the way.
oh
FYI.
yeah, my mother sent them a picture of me. Which one was it? Was it the me laying in the bed in my underwear?
Yes.
That was the one. How did
Yes.
she get that?
I don't know, but she supplied us with enough photos to
Oh
freaking.
wait, no. That was the I sent you guys that one.
That's right. You did send that one.
She
That's right.
sent
Your
you
mother
guys
sent the one where you were dressed up for your like what 11th or 12th Halloween.
7th grade Halloween. I was dressed up as a
Yeah, that's
girl.
it.
Yup,
Yeah.
that's the one
Yeah.
she
We had.
sent you. Okay.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one.
So the picture of me in my underwear, by the way, is I was planning on using that as a Christmas card when I decided to go on a weight loss journey, and I wanted to use it as a Christmas card when I lost the weight, and we're still going on that journey, but I'll say it like this: I was over 400 pounds at like age 18, and I am not near that at this point. There's still a gut to
yeah,
lose,
no,
but
no. I mean, he's nowhere near that, ladies. Trust me, he's a sexy bitch.
a sexy bitch. There we go.
That's the thing. He's a fluffy, sexy bitch, as a comedian would say.
There we go. I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So just throwing it out there, ladies. He is single. He is very hilarious, and yeah,
Uh,
hit him up.
Hype me up, Big Papa. Also, I am closer to 7 feet than I am 6 feet. So,
Jesus
just
Christ, aren't you?
yeah, I am. You never thought of it like that, have you?
Not really, but you are. And
Yeah.
I think the first time you and I met when we got to your your pre-wedding festivities before we went and ate, I was like, holy, I'm gonna have to freaking get a ladder to even freaking shake hands with this dude.
But it's different me saying, "Oh, I'm this height" when I'm just talking to you guys over the freaking mic versus actually seeing it in person.
No shit.
It is definitely something that you kind of have to
Oh yeah,
process.
oh absolutely.
I was like,
So
so I mean,
so going back to the subject at hand, though, I mean, like we have some interesting moments here, and I think what makes this group unique that we'll go into over time. I think, and part of this, I think, we're going to start having some different segments. Isn't that right, Giants?
yeah, we're gonna try to have some segments. We're not 100% sure on what just yet. Um,
I I think we're going to have some of your dating escapades are going to be talked about. I
I
think that was
I will definitely. You know what? We will. I will give you guys one right now, and the only and Chris over here also had a similar incident, just not in the fun way that I did. So yeah, you brought it up.
damn it.
So we're gonna start on the more recent of the events. I had to bring Chris to the hospital a few weeks ago
They
because
did.
he had slipped and fell. What was it? Cleaning your bathtub? You
Yeah.
were
I
cleaning
wish
your
it were.
bathtub. He was cleaning his bathtub. He slipped, fell, hit his head, and it he basically knocked his ass back into 2016. Like he didn't remember who I was. He didn't remember who his wife was. It was honestly looking back at it, we can laugh, but it was worrisome at the moment because we had just gotten back from Vegas like 2 days before
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we had, yeah.
And it's like he didn't remember any of that. And I mean, I don't remember some of it, but that was more because
Fucking
alcohol was involved.
amnesia, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like I thought it was freaking. I thought it was something they put on TV and all that. That's just real.
What worried me was your wife had told me that you were fine, you were remembering who everyone was, and I thought it was okay, short term amnesia, that's normal, shit happens. And then I get a phone call or a text or whatever it was at like 9, 10 o'clock at night that you ended up going to your sister's and you didn't remember anything and this and that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I say
that
that
happened.
I ended up calling out of work the next day for it. But we
Yeah,
ended let's say we ended up taking him to the hospital and he's okay besides the normal stuff that's wrong with him. But
ah,
anyway, the reason I bring that up, we're getting into my dating fails. Um it was me and my ex-wife. I believe we were engaged. Yeah, we were engaged at the
you're
time.
engaged. Yeah,
Yep.
you were.
We were engaged at the time and we were getting intimate and we were in the shower and the most appropriate way I guess I'll say this is we were rounding third and heading home. And
Yeah,
I slipped and fell in the shower and I almost broke my ribs, almost bruised them, whatever. I fortunately landed on my gut, but I fell out of the shower,
Airbag.
and all I scream is, "Ow! Fuck!" It was loud enough for our neighbors to hear it, who thought we were actually screwing
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yeah. That talked about. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
but I've ended up falling in the falling. I fell out of the shower because of that, and I think she told you guys, did she not?
She did. Yeah, I
Okay.
remember the story. Yeah. I think that's the best way you can ruin a mood. So that's a fail and a half.
Yeah. So
You know.
at least me falling out of the shower has a lot. There was definitely a lot more going on for me than your clumsy ass just falling and into your head. But
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. At least yours ended with maybe a freaking happy ending. Mine ended with I don't remember Jack nothing.
you don't remember which ending is end.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh shit, dude, that was. There's a lot to talk about, and we'll be
Oh yeah, I mean
definitely.
we're gonna like I said we're gonna do segments. I think that's one of the ones.
Yeah,
There's some others that have been discussed. So we're gonna try to make this what a weekly thing. I think.
we're gonna try to make this a weekly thing, or at least close enough to. I'm sure we will get shorts out of this as well. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
we'll.
There's gonna be some shorts. I think we've talked about how we're gonna end the show too. I mean,
Hold on.
what was the bet on that? I can't remember what the.
I don't know how we're gonna do that, considering the fact we're not recording ourselves.
That's true. Yeah, that may fail.
So we'll have to figure something else out. We're not.
But we're gonna also have guest speakers every week. I think that's definitely
Well,
gonna
yeah,
happen.
that's gonna happen as much as we possibly can. We have a good amount of people that we're gonna go through, and obviously we have the PHG guys, but we also have. I'm sure there's other people like in our real lives and whatnot that we can get involved in this. And whatever we decide to do, whatever week, we'll figure it out as it goes because that's the only way you really can do it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be
plenty,
fun.
plenty of content coming down the line for the PHG podcast and the Purple Heart Gaming social
Yeah,
media. And
absolutely.
if you are interested at any point in joining Purple Heart Gaming, you can do so via our Discord, which we will have linked in the description of whatever platforms we possibly can. We're
Yeah,
gonna actually look at getting our website back up so we can just do
yeah,
it that way. Um,
yeah.
we'll have.
I won't say the name, but we can thank some hosting site for that one.
I'm pretty sure we already have. I know we still have the domain, so it's not really a
We do
worry
have the
about
domain.
that.
We paid the domain. We filled the domain. I still don't have the website.
We'll get that figured out within the next couple of weeks. I'm not worried too much about that.
And we're making a free sprint back on YouTube, as I understand. Is that right?
Yeah, we will be putting this on YouTube as well. So
Uh, TikTok is also going to have a link. I think our TikTok's going to come back around.
the TikTok, the Facebook.
Oh, we got that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
We have quite a bit of gathering on Facebook.
We got the TikTok too. I think that we had a
So,
couple.
yeah,
We had a couple of videos when we were primarily doing RP that
I,
went. I wouldn't say super viral, but they have like
they
some.
were pretty popular. Yeah, I mean, so I think we'd like to talk about real quick before we end this. What is one of your favorite moments that we've had in server? I think I talked about mine with funny moments where we had the bank robbery. What was one of your favorites that we've done since we've done this?
That's tough because honestly, and I'm not even just saying this to blow steam up our asses. I've had so many of them that it's just.
There's been quite a lot. I mean, it is hard for me to even sit there and pick.
I
You know,
mean, we had the long term thing with the Baratellis running the strip joint.
uh,
Um, every time I bring Tyrone out, he's absolutely just. Uh,
there, uh,
I mean,
yeah,
the bank was definitely a great one. There was I almost killed Tyrone off. I
I
think.
know. And I was like, "What are you thinking?"
Well, I don't know what I was thinking, but we kind of killed Tyrone off for a little bit, and then I think it just brought him back, and he was just in a
Yeah,
coma
yeah,
or something.
yeah, there was something like that. So
What else was there? There's the Baratelli. Of course, Burton bringing the old man walking down the interstate. Um, remember when I had first joined and there was that whole internal affairs case that I ran?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was probably one of my favorites from the policing side of the RP,
Yeah,
which also, for those that don't know, and hopefully you guys see, Chris is the sheriff of the BCSO, and
I am.
I'm the colonel of the Department for Public Safety, State
That was
Police, whatever
cool.
you want to call it, Highway
Really
Patrol.
cool. Road
So,
races.
but we basically have our department set up the way we want to for the fun that we get to have around here. So, I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and I will say that adding a kind of a real life aspect into this to Corbin and I's credit, and again, I don't mean to blow steam and promote ourselves, but this group has been very unique in the fact that I think we've inspired some people to become real life first responders.
well, we have
You know,
Slate, we have
yeah,
Ski,
yeah, Aries,
Aries. I think that was
Prowl.
I think that was happening with or without,
It was. It definitely was. I
but
think
it
we were,
definitely helped.
right. And then we had what Prowl's a fireman now. We've
Yeah.
got
You got me that's currently with a couple of
yeah,
departments going through their
you,
process. I mean,
yeah, definitely you, yeah.
so I'm
So the thing about it is that I think we've been able to tap some real life skills that we have and bring it over to RP, and we get so many people interested in doing that.
yeah, we got Brad who's a real life firefighter as
That's
well.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Foster.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. We're not only just a United based server, which we're based upon, things here, but we've got some brethren from the north in our server. Quite a few, actually.
Yeah, we got some Canadians around here. We at one point had some guys kind of all over the country, but
We did.
our
We had some
that didn't work out too well, only for the sake of just
time
time
frame.
differences. But
Yeah.
I mean, we've had quite a couple of guys from England and Australia and other places.
Oh yeah.
Um, who else? Let's say who else do we have on this list? That a Duddle. He ended up going. I think he works corrections.
He
But
does. He does. We've got. I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head. He's actually rode with me in real life. Met him through the server. Came rode.
yeah,
Uh, and he's
King.
a yeah, and King. Yeah, I forgot about King. Yeah, but we've got this guy here is now a Tennessee officer. So I think we've had a lot of real life experience rollover, and we've got a lot of real life responders. So this isn't just BS up your steam that we're playing a freaking video game and pretending to be. No, we put some real life aspects into this.
Yeah, and I mean it's always making this as real as you can while also incorporating that it's still a video game. That is one of the most difficult things when it comes to running a server, and that's
Awesome.
from my experience. I always when I tried to run my servers, I found that being some of the hardest things to do was trying to manage that because you had people complaining about it, but you also had people complaining that it wasn't. You had one side complaining that we were doing too much on the real end, it's just a game, and then you have
Yeah,
people on the
yeah,
other end that are like, we're not doing enough on that end. And we've had people come and go that were real life certified too. I forget his
sure.
name, but we had the one guy who was with New Mexico and another guy in
Yeah,
Florida
the
and
guy in Indiana.
Indiana. Yep. So I mean,
And just things to go with it. But I will say that the group as an entirety has been one of the funnest experiences of my life. If you'd have told me when we set out to do this, we would be even in half the position that we're in, I said you're nuts.
I mean, yeah, I can't disagree with that.
I said you're absolutely crazy. So we have reached our goals, and like John said, hey, if you're interested in joining, we're going to throw a link up into this. We'll be welcome to have you. I mean, we have a lot of fun. We RPs what now on what Wednesdays and Fridays?
So we have two official nights that we try to do to get as many people in as possible. Those are Wednesday night and Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. However, we have random nights that we RP or play Jackbox or do whatever the rest of the night. There's days where I just pop in the Discord and then all of a sudden, like 20
We get
minutes
something going
later,
on.
it's like 20 minutes later, we have 5 people in here and we just decide to start an RP. Or sometimes we don't even RP, we just talk around and bullshit and have a good old fashioned time. So, I mean,
Dude, we have a really good time here, and that's the thing about it. We're here for fun. On top of the realism, I think we bring, it's just a fun group to be a part of.
Yeah.
And so, if you're looking for a home and you're 17 and up, give us a shout.
Yeah.
Give us a try.
Worst thing could happen is saying, you know what, I don't like this place, but I'm glad I tried it. I mean, that's all you can do.
And this podcast, we're gonna have fun with it.
Yeah, I can't wait to be doing this again next week. We'll figure out who our guest is by then. I think we have an idea on who we want to add, but we're not sure what their availability is going to be.
Should I be scared? That's the question I need to ask her. Do I need to be terrified?
I don't know. We'll see what the twat waffle has to say. But
I thought you were gonna say that.
So
it's our magical word of the week.
The word of the week is twat waffle. Anyway, we're going to get going here, but we would like to thank everyone that decided to listen today. If you guys wish to join Purple Heart Gaming, the link to the Discord will be in the descriptions of everywhere we possibly can. We're going to definitely put this podcast on wherever you can find your podcast, YouTube, YouTube, try to put it on Spotify. I don't really know.
Yeah, we're going to try that. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get out there.
We're going to try to put this everywhere we can. So if you want to follow us on Facebook at Purple Heart Gaming, the TikTok, which is, I believe, what is it, Purple Heart Gaming, I believe?
Yeah, I believe it is for PHG. I can't remember.
PHG. We'll have links to everything, and obviously this is our first time going on it, so we're gonna definitely do a lot more when it comes to making sure that this is a more, what's the word I'm looking for? A more fluid situation. But
I mean, you are. I mean, big boy.
Oh Lord Almighty. Thank you guys for watching once again, and we will be back next week with episode 2 with our special guest to be determined.
Hey, we'll see you then, guys. All right.